Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Lindsie Chrisley's letter to FBI used in Todd and Julie's trial. Savannah accused Lindsie Chrisley of assisting the government in her parents' conviction, and now, Chrisley Knows Best fans wonder about a letter to the FBI allegedly used in Julie and Todd Chrisley's trial. There's a bitter fight between the two women. It started after Savannah told Lindsie not to attend her parents' oral arguments appeal. Lindsie Chrisley accused by Savannah of working with the government. In February, Savannah Chrisley said on a podcast with Jason Tartick, "I find it funny because Lindsie's so-called lawyer wants to say that I'm using her as a punching bag for my emotions, which is not true at all because I go off of facts." She added, "I go off of you have interviews that she did with the FBI for 2 years, I wholeheartedly believe she was a huge player in this whole fiasco. And it just is what it is, blood does not mean you are family to someone." In 2017, when legal papers were served on Todd Chrisley, Lindsie Chrisley apparently had her son with her, and she wanted to distance herself from the tax investigation. So, she reportedly stayed in contact with Joshua Waits, the director of the Office of Special Investigations at GER. Supposedly, she just wanted to protect her son. However, rumors arrived that Todd Chrisley suspected that Lindsie sold them out to the tax officials. Savannah fighting over old injustices, including an FBI letter. The Daily Mail reported in 2022, that they obtained official documents that showed Todd's oldest daughter cooperated with the Georgia Tax Department. Other news arrived about a long interview with the FBI. So, it surprised Chrisley Knows Best fans when Lindsie testified in favor of her parents. Additionally, she brushed old allegations of an alleged sex tape under the carpet. That annoyed the judge and the jury. Possibly, that's why Savannah still feuds with her sister. Lindsie Chrisley allegedly wrote a letter to the FBI that ended up presented in court. On Reddit, Chrisley Knows Best fans wonder about the truth of that. As the case wasn't televised, not every document was available for press reporting. Allegedly, Lindsie claimed to the FBI that her father threatened her with a sex tape. She suggested that if she didn't lie for Todd Chrisley in both tax cases, he would leak it. So possibly, a letter was read in court to counter her sudden turnaround on the stand in Atlanta's federal case. Fans discuss the FBI letter. On Reddit this week, a Chrisley Knows Best fan asked others if they knew about the FBI letter during Julie and Todd Chrisley's trial. The op asked. Yates was a letter she wrote before the Y, forgave her, and the government brought it up when she testified for her parents. Mark Braddock, sick, was the one who went and started all of this. If I remember, it was like saying she was afraid of Todd or something, I don't exactly remember. Someone posted an email from court transactions in one of the posts about this today. It didn't look that bad, honestly. Not sure if there's another one they are referring to. Dear agents of the FBI. I never thought I'd find myself writing such a letter, much less one that might be pivotal in determining the fate of my family. Yet here I am, pen in hand, heart heavy with the burden of truth, loyalty, and an unrelenting quest for justice. You see, the Chrisley family has always been larger than life. From the outside looking in, we were the epitome of Southern charm, wit, the glossy and veneers and the well-timed one-liners on television, a different story unraveled, a story of ambition, betrayal, and secrets that festered beneath the surface. I suppose it all began long before the FBI investigation, long before the cameras rolled. My father, Todd Chrisley, was a man of immense charisma. He commanded attention in every room, a gravitational force that could charm strangers and intimidate rivals. My stepmother, Julie, complemented him perfectly, poised, nurturing, and fiercely protective of the empire they built together. To the world, they were untouchable. To me, they were complicated. I'm writing this letter not out of spite but because I believe in accountability. For years, I tried to reconcile the love I had for my father with the darker truths I discovered about his business dealings. The whispers of fraud, the mounting debts, the lavish spending, it didn't add up. I wanted to ignore it, to trust his reassurances that everything was under control. But the deeper I dug, the more I realized that my silence made me complicit. The breaking point came during a family dinner in 2019. It was supposed to be a celebration, another milestone for the Chrisley brand. But as the wine flowed and the conversations grew louder, I overheard a hushed exchange between my father and Julie. They spoke in code, using words like adjustments and offshore, their voices tinged with unease. I pretended not to notice, but the pit in my stomach told me otherwise. I confronted my father later that night. "Daddy," I began, my voice trembling, "what's going on with the finances? Are we in trouble?" He laughed, brushing off my concerns with the charm he wielded like a weapon. "Lindsie, sweetheart, you worry too much. Everything is fine. Trust your daddy." But I couldn't shake the feeling that everything was not fine. That moment planted a seed of doubt that grew into a relentless need for answers. Months later, my suspicions were confirmed when an anonymous tip led federal agents to investigate the Chrisley family. The allegations were staggering: tax evasion, bank fraud, wire fraud, crimes that carried heavy consequences. And while my father maintained his innocence, his world began to crumble. The FBI reached out to me, seeking information. At first, I hesitated. How could I betray my family, the people who raised me, who loved me in their own imperfect way? But then I thought about the legacy we were leaving behind, not just for the Chrisley name but for the generations to come. Could I live with myself if I turned a blind eye? So, I told the truth. I recounted the conversations I'd overheard, the inconsistencies in their stories, and the documents I'd stumbled upon during my visits to their home office. One document, in particular, stood out: a handwritten note in my father's meticulous script outlining a scheme to inflate income figures for loan applications. "We'll make it work," the note read, a chilling testament to his resolve. When the trial began, I was thrust into the spotlight, a reluctant protagonist in a family drama that played out on a national stage. My letter to the FBI was presented as evidence, a piece of the puzzle that painted a damning picture of my father and Julie's actions. It was surreal to hear my words read aloud in court, to see my testimony dissected by attorneys and scrutinized by the media. My father, ever the showman, accused me of betrayal. He called me a liar, a pawn in a larger conspiracy to take him down. Julie, always the peacemaker, looked at me with a mixture of hurt and disappointment.